So there's a bunch of François Truffaut films that I'm trying to catch up on. Essentially, his entire filmography that I haven't seen, which is pretty much everything except the Antoine Doinel cycle, The Last Metro, and Fahrenheit 451. So they're all on Filmstruck, but they expire soon. So I'm trying to catch up on them all. So you'll probably be seeing a lot of Truffaut reviews in the next few days as I watch my way through them. So the first one I watched was Mississippi Mermaid, also known as Le Sirène du Mississipi. It's like my French accent. Sometimes I can do it. This was from 1969, and it was based on a novel by Cornell Woolrich? Yeah, Cornell Woolrich, originally published under the name William Irish. The film was called, or the story is called Waltz in the Darkness. This version is called Mississippi Mermaid. Is not set in Mississippi. So it's about I'm not sure what the original story was, but in this plot, Jean-Paul Belmondo is a tobacco planter in the island of Réunion, which is in the Indian Ocean. He gets a mail order wife, played by Catherine Deneuve, except when the picture he has of her is not Catherine Deneuve, and she's like, "Oh, I sent you my neighbor's picture because, I don't know." And it's like really lame, but it's Catherine Deneuve, so, he marries her, obviously, and gives her full use of his bank account, which is pretty stupid. And then she shafts him, takes the money, and runs. And you're like, well, no shit. And then it turns out, obviously, this is not the woman he was writing with, and she was a con person. And she has found herself abandoned by her partner who took all the money, and he refines her and falls in love, and the rest of the film, well, he's already in love. The rest of the film is them evading the law together. And I don't quite buy it, because I don't quite buy that anyone would love a woman that much. But if anyone would love any woman that much, it would be Catherine Deneuve. So, for me, this film only works because it's Catherine Deneuve. It was remade, and I remember when this came out, and I still haven't seen it, in 2001 as Original Sin, starring Angelina Jolie and Antonio Banderas, and I remember, it being just destroyed by critics. But going with the thought that the only way I could see this plot working is if the woman is played by Catherine Deneuve, in modern days, if the woman is played by Angelina Jolie, I could see that happening as well, because it's Angelina Jolie. So this film was bizarre and nutty, beautifully shot. It's in super widescreen. It's this beautiful Technicolor. It was shot on the island of Reunion, as well as throughout. There's a list of all the places it was shot in the French-speaking world. It was insane. It was filmed in Réunion, several places in there. It was filmed in Nice, Lyon, Grenoble, Antibes, and Aix-en-Provence. So, you can go on an entire tour of, fancy rich people, France and French-speaking world, if you want. I should speak French in reviews more often. I actually have a degree in French literature, so the great thing about French films is they're the one language other than English that I can put on, and if I get distracted or I have to look away, I can still understand what's happening. It's nice. Try not to get distracted during movies, but it happens when you're in your home. Your cat does something, or you have to go get the tea or whatever. Deneuve and Belmondo have great chemistry, and I'm reminded that both Deneuve and Belmondo, I believe, are still alive, right? I know Deneuve is. Yeah. So Belmondo is 83. Catherine Deneuve is 73. I feel very strongly that we need a Belmondo Deneuve old person romance reunion. This needs to happen. Somebody needs to do this. I will see the heck out of that movie, because they had fiery chemistry. The cinematography was by Denis Clerval. I'm not sure what else they have shot, but it was just beautiful, and the sound design was nuts. There was great when they were on the island, there was great sound design to make you realize you were on an island with various sounds that I'm now forgetting, but I remember thinking at the time, wow, I feel like I'm on an island. But then he makes this decision with the score, and the score is by Antoine Duhamel, that the score, like, there's moments where the score is louder than them talking. And it's in interesting places, like when they're in a car, where if you weren't in a movie world, you wouldn't be able to hear them because the car noises would be so loud, right? But the car noises aren't what's loud, it's the music. And I find that really strange, and I'm wondering why he did that, but it's interesting. So it has lots of interesting sort of Truffautian, if you will, touches. And he's definitely a man who sort of sees love as a damnation. You can see that in a lot of his films, in the Antoine Doinel cycle and in Fahrenheit. And it's nice. It's nice to see that that's a theme that's recurrent. So I have 12 more films I think it is to watch. So I'm gonna try to get them all in before they expire. We'll see what happens. Um, so this is still available on Filmstruck for a little bit. This is La Sirène du Mississipi, or Mississippi Mermaid from 1969, François Truffaut. I enjoyed it.